I'll be ready in 5 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they say as soon as it happens, you're ready.
I slept in my car for 3 months in LA when I moved there.
Fatherhood or what?
Not quite, almost.
Almost fatherhood?
Yeah.
What's up? Show your face. Ben Herwitz, the freaking legend. What's up, dude? Let's get to it. Ben Herwitz, what's up, dude?
What's
good
up,
to
man?
see you, Ben
Good
Herwitz.
to see you too.
Returns.
How have you been?
To the podcast. I'm great, man. How you been?
Good to be back.
Yeah,
I'm glad
dude.
you reached out.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of, you can easily put this on hold for too long. You can go like, hey, it was nice having this guy, and then years go by.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, we had a good conversation last time. For those of you who didn't listen to the first episode, we, for the most part, talked about, like, I guess the business of yeah. Because you've had some experience with, not porn stars and, like, filming with porn stars.
No.
Porn-wise, but you have had...
I've done podcasts.
Yes, exactly.
I've filmed with porn stars, but not having sex.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were uncomfortable doing that, which is, like, kind of funny.
Well, they were and they weren't. They were excited to do it, but they
Yeah.
don't know how.
Right.
They don't know how to be on camera and not have sex with people.
Yeah.
They don't know how to do that.
Well, I mean, back, I think it was like initially like, I don't know if it was even taboo back in like the 70s and 80s. Everyone like had a bush. People were thinking it was cool to do porn maybe, but like, maybe
that's
now
interesting.
Maybe like now it's not even taboo either.
I think we've come full circle.
Yeah.
It wasn't taboo like in the 60s and 70s. It was
Yeah.
kind of cool. And then it was not good.
Yeah.
You
And now
shouldn't-
it's like kind of okay with
now
OnlyFans.
anybody can do anything they want and it's fucking chaos.
Yeah. People are putting like vertical videos on Pornhub and stuff, you know, so it's like straight from the OnlyFans. Well,
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
No, everything is fair game right now, which means it's close to the end of the world. I think,
so?
yeah. I think, and also I don't think it's a coincidence that the areas where people shoot porn are going to be underwater in about 10 years. God has
true.
smited
Miami, Brazil,
California. Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, dude. So how do you think the world's gonna end?
I don't think it's going to end anywhere near our lifetime. I just think it's going to get kind of fucking, I think New York's going to be underwater.
In our lifetime, though, like within the next 40, 50 years?
Completely? No.
Well, we're building that wall, apparently.
New York, around New York?
Around Manhattan, I think. Or there's a proposal for it. It's going to cost like
That's
80 bill.
Well, I don't know. Okay, explain it to me before I actually get upset.
I don't know if I really can explain it to you.
They're
but
building
like,
a wall around the city.
the lower part of Manhattan. It's going to cost like $80 billion.
Starting underwater.
The proposal is there to like actually start the construction.
So they're going to build from underwater to
I believe so.
above water so that we can stay above sea level.
Yes. I think that's what they're talking about doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So then what's going to happen? I mean, at the moment, what's happening is there's so much weight on the Manhattan, the island, because they keep building
dude.
They keep building skyscrapers
That are half empty.
on a floating piece of land.
Yeah, it's not great.
No one's even in fucking half of the.
I don't even like people who were even building initially. I don't know why they didn't think of that. You know, like they were building and having all this weight on land to be like, well, eventually isn't it going to just go through?
Well, I'm
step through it.
I'm still relatively new to New York, but the sense
Yeah.
that I get is it's like, hey, it's New York. We got to make things happen. We never give up. And what they're doing is by never giving up, they're putting more mass on the island and sinking it gradually. So I do think within 20 years, there could be like Chinatown could be, it could have some water.
It's going to be an interesting world for your kid. By the way, Ben, almost a father.
We're in Queens though, so
So you're good.
Yeah,
You're good
we're
for like
hiding
at least,
Queens.
At least
Yeah.
a few more
And we'll leave.
years.
Yeah.
Right. You go up to the Bronx.
We'll start driving to Pennsylvania.
Dude, so how long until you're a father?
2 months.
You pumped? You
Yeah,
excited?
I'll be ready in 5 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they say as soon as it happens, you're ready. Or you're never
Yeah,
really ready.
I don't know who the fuck they are.
Yeah,
There are plenty of people who aren't ready.
That's true. But
Who
they're
are-
making
You
themselves
see?
ready.
Don't you see them out in the world?
I
People,
do.
yeah.
I do.
People holding their kid's face down on their arm, and they're just holding it like that.
My dad's friend is in his like late 60s, early
had a
70s,
kid?
around that age, and he's having a surrogate.
I don't think that should. No offense to your dad's friend.
Yeah.
I don't think that should be allowed. I think
Having a
I
surrogate?
think that should be off the table. I think it's insane.
Well, what if people can't have kids though?
then you
like,
can't have a
genetically?
kid? Then you can't.
Really? You
Then
think
you're
that's
not
how it should
allowed
be?
anymore.
It's also, I mean, it's like a pretty crazy part of science that you could just like have a kid without a
can
man's wiener going
shoot a
into
kid
the-
into another person.
Yeah.
And then that person is genetically predisposed to like love and care about the kid, and they just have to give it up. That's a fucking insane process.
You're saying that the kid coming out of the womb needs love and care? Is that
I think that the woman who's carrying the kid loves that kid just by nature of evolution.
By proxy, yeah.
She has to. How could you not care about something that's growing inside of you? It's not a job. Giving birth to a kid is not a job.
It's definitely an interesting play, I'd say.
Well, and talk about someone who needs money. That's the porn of birthing.
How do you mean?
So Stallone did porn because he needed money.
Yeah.
The chick who's carrying your dad's friend's kid.
Yeah, needs money. Yeah. She has like 3 kids herself, and then also is about to birth another child. I wonder how much she's getting. Probably like
I've heard it's 60 to 70,
200,000,
maybe more.
Yeah. And it also depends.
It's a full-time job.
If you're carrying a kid with like blue eyes, blonde hair, maybe it's more so than the ugly type of kid. But anyway, the reason why I brought this up is my dad was saying that, as soon as you have a kid, your life completely changes. And it's something that my dad's friend is like kind of grasping at. He's really understand that he's not gonna be able to travel as much. He's never gonna sleep.
The life expectancy in America is 73 years old. But your parents are supposed to be able to like move around. They're supposed to be there.
But I wonder what the deal is. Like why kids don't like hanging out with people who are way older. Just makes them look bad.
Because they're weird. I mean, 20-year-olds are weird. No, the old people are weird. You're like old to you when you're 3 is like 13. Can you imagine how old someone seems with like
you can't even fathom
papery skin and they're 75 years old? That's it's like unfathomably old. You cannot even comprehend how old that person is. That's not supposed to be your dad.
Wait, are you 34?
33.
So you're having a kid at nowadays like a good age, they're saying.
Honestly, young now because everybody waits. I mean, like depending
I'm
on
down to wait for a little bit.
Socioeconomic status. Sure. There's some variables.
Right.
People with a lot of money wait way too long. That's my opinion.
When our parents were having kids, 30 years old was normal. No, it wasn't too old.
Hell yeah. No. And also in the middle of the country. You live in Nebraska.
You're bored. You want to have a kid.
Well, bored. It's just like, it's an accident. People aren't planning the same way. They don't work at BlackRock. They don't have like a big plan. they don't have a 7-year plan and a 20-year plan. And they're not like, I gotta be at work at 8 a.m. and then I'm going on trips to Tokyo once a month. They work wherever they work in Nebraska. And they like having fucking, vaginal unprotected sex.
Right.
And
who could blame them?
They jizz in their wife.
Yeah.
Or their friend or whatever it is. And they have a kid.
Sometimes kids who are around the ages of like anywhere from like 19 to 25 and they have multiple kids. I don't know if they understand that well. Or is somebody not teaching them?
My wife's parents, are they live in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Small town.
Okay.
That's where they're from originally. Now they kind of live in Milwaukee, like close to Milwaukee. They have 4 kids. They had their first kid when they were both 28, 27.
Yeah.
That's like normal. That actually is genetically, that's normal.
But even now, if somebody has kids at 27 or 28, even any of our peers in like the comedy game would be like, what the hell are you doing?
Because we're all pretending that we're young. We love to pretend we have time. We don't. I don't like
Gary Vee would argue against that. You have time.
How many kids does he have?
Good question. I don't think any.
Yeah, he does not have time to have kids. He has time to build a business. You always have time to build a business and
unless you have a kid
and do whatever the fuck he recommends. No, I don't think that's true either. I think having a kid. This is about to be my life, so I have to be pro having a kid.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I'll play devil's advocate.
There are pros and cons, but I think that it motivates you.
And lights a fire under your butt.
And also, like, again, this is maybe like a little idealistic, but I think you're gonna be pretty fucking selfish if it's just you. To me, there's nothing more lame than like some guy who's like, I'm just trying to do it, man. I'm on my own, just trying to make it happen. If you're doing it for somebody, the likelihood of it being good or better or more efficient is higher.
Well, when do you think that actually gets lame? Because there's a point in time in every man's life where you need to be about yourself and be like about it.
In hindsight, I think it might be lame the whole fucking time, honestly. I was pretty lame in my late 20s. Just a miserable guy trying to figure shit out.
You sound like our parents, I would say.
Well, I was in my late 20s, like going to meetings in Los Angeles and like trying to get scripts made and doing stand up, and I was just kind of an idiot, very selfish, and self-indulgent a lot of the time too. You can have too much time on your hands. That's my opinion. Does that make sense?
Yeah. From what you're saying, I get it.
Yeah. I think that.
So you think everybody should have children?
No. I don't think. And honestly, comics are such. It's an inherently self-indulgent pursuit. So it's like.
To have kids or to just be a comic and.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can make the argument that having kids is a little self-indulgent too, but there's nothing more self-indulgent than an entertainment career. I mean, that's the ultimate. It's about you. It's about you, like, and it's like, how cool is it to get really good at something like that, to do it? How fun is it to actually do it, to be there while you're doing it? But like obsessing over whether or not it's going to work out and getting really, really into that and spending most of your time thinking about that, that's not productive. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's the only way I can rationalize what's coming my way.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's a better life to have somebody else to worry about, think about it like this. Like, if the only person you have to feed is yourself, you're going to get fat.
I do feel like at the end of life, people never are on their deathbed being like, oh, damn, I wish I didn't have kids. It's definitely the other way. I wish I had kids. I wish I found someone.
That would be mind-blowing if somebody's about to die and they're like,
I wish I never had those fucking kids.
I wish I had been alone my entire life.
But people seem to have the same sort of few things that they regret at the end of their life. Mm-hmm. Maybe they didn't stay in touch with their friends. They worked too hard. They didn't get away enough. They didn't pay attention to their kids.
Yeah.
But no one ever really, not that from what I know, people don't really regret having kids. I mean, initially it seems very difficult.
It's daunting. 100%.
Is there any way to put, like, are you planning for it in any certain way? Like, you probably bought a crib. We know what space your kids
we have a registry, and we just got a 2-bedroom.
Oh, okay, all right. But you don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet, right?
No, we know.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that the last time we spoke.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's gonna be a girl.
Didn't you want it to be a surprise or no?
No. I mean, I didn't care. I wanted.
You didn't care. You didn't have like a gender reveal party? No. Shoot the balloon. No. Pink stuff comes out.
She's trans. She's a trans.
Okay, so pink and blue stuff comes out.
Yeah. No, she's coming out fully trans.
Right. With the times.
Yeah, we're gonna have a gender switch party when she comes out. She's being. I mean, I'm from San Francisco. She's born in New York City.
When's the last time you were in San Francisco?
Trans person. Yeah. Last time I was in San Francisco.
Yeah. Is it as bad
April?
as people are really talking shit about it?
Yeah. No, it's bad. It's pretty scary.
What about compared to New York in terms of the
it's way worse.
Issue?
Really? LA's worse and San Francisco's worse. They're both significantly worse. It's like scary. People think I've talked to people in New York about that. They're like, well, but there's a lot of homeless here. There are not.
And also the homeless people in New York, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, listening and watching, they're like pretty chill. I mean, unless you like bother them.
Thank you.
Like if you leave them alone, for the most part, they're chill. And you know which ones to avoid. People who are screaming and yelling in the street, they're mostly chill.
I think that homeless people in New York are like much more docile and they really don't have a big effect on people's lives.
San Francisco,
what does that mean?
I should know what that means.
Chill.
Docile.
That's all it means.
Chill.
Yeah, relax.
Das chill.
In New York, in San Francisco, they break into people's. It's the number one smash and grab city in America. They break into people's cars like crazy.
Yeah.
And in LA, there's tent cities everywhere.
Like LA, also they're more unpredictable. It seems like you don't know which ones could potentially attack you or throw a bottle of their pee on you. Like I was walking by a homeless guy in
I saw a video of that.
Where he threw diarrhea at someone.
There was a homeless guy hanging out by like a Dunkin' Donuts in Los Angeles and dumped a bucket of diarrhea on a woman.
Oof, she shouldn't have been standing there, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I was walking by this homeless guy. He had a big Starbucks cup full of lemonade. And I was looking at it, I was like, there's no way Starbucks has lemonade that dark. Iced tea lemonade. And I was like, please do not throw this on me.
Yeah.
He didn't end up throwing it on me, which is solid.
That's pretty disgusting.
Yeah, but like that's a situation like you don't know.
It's not good here.
No.
It is significantly worse in California.
No. What's your solution for homelessness?
That's a good
Solving
question.
Homelessness.
They should all have kids.
Light a fire under their tush.
There's no. So I mean, I don't know. What does China do? Kill them.
Is that what they've?
Supposedly they do.
Maybe.
I was hanging out with a Chinese comic like a couple months ago, and I was like, do you guys kill your homeless? and he was like no. China does something with their homeless people. They have no homeless people.
Yes. Okay, we'll keep that in. But yeah.
He says they have like housing developments or something.
Yeah. That's a minor solution.
San Francisco tried to do that. It did not work.
What did they do?
They redid all the hotels in the Tenderloin, which is a rough neighborhood in the middle of the city. And they put them all up in there, and now they're all just running around the streets. It really didn't help anything.
Did more homeless people come about because they felt that they had a steady place to live or sleep at night?
Yeah, maybe they might have they might have actually like traveled there.
Because that seems like a more simple solution. You know, if you build 15 buildings in Yonkers and you say, okay, this is homeless housing, 15,000 units.
Yeah, but the problem is mental illness.
Yeah, that's a huge problem. Bro,
Like,
I get it. You know, like I have freak out sometimes mentally, and it doesn't thankfully spiral downwards.
Yeah.
But I have freaking freak outs all the time.
And yours are 1%. You can't even imagine having schizophrenia. It's like, it's unlivable. You're not tethered to reality. You're seeing things that aren't even there. Like if you say, like, I've actually heard that solution from people who like don't totally empathize. They'll go like, just put them in tiny houses in the middle of nowhere. You know what's going to be in those tiny houses? Just smeared diarrhea everywhere. It's going to be a fucking disaster. And then you're going to have to hire people to clean up after them. It gets really complicated. I mean, maybe there's a situation where you like have enough funding from the government where you can like have hospitals dedicated to them, like insane asylums dedicated to them. That maybe is the best case scenario, but I don't know if there is a best case scenario. It's very complicated.
In LA, they're calling them RV lords. There's guys who are buying like 10 RVs and they're just charging homeless people like a few $100s a month to rent out the RVs.
I mean, that's fucking
just crazy.
No, that's not good. But I think that if you know, and I'm kind of talking in my ass, but I'm almost positive that if you need food and you're in California or New York, you can get it.
Yes. Do you know Sam Bilski?
Yeah.
He was homeless for a while.
Oh, wow.
He came on the podcast and he was talking about it.
How long?
About a year in New York.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Isn't
in
that
New York,
crazy?
that's a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah. And he said the worst part is just having to move all the time, you know, which definitely makes sense, but you don't really think about it. Somebody's waking you up after like 4 hours of sleep. All right, get out of here, man.
Yeah,
you can't sleep here.
yeah.
You got to go find another nook or corner.
You know, I didn't do it as long as Sam, but I slept in my car for 3 months in LA when I moved there. Yeah.
Damn, dedication, bro.
Yeah.
What kind of car? Like, were you able to lean back?
I was just being a piece of shit.
But
honestly.
what did you put like a sun thing in the front of it?
Oh, yeah. I had like
Okay,
towels
the full
and shit
setup.
up. I had a 1991 Volvo that I bought cash. That's actually a very
How
long
much
story.
was it?
$3,000.
Let's talk about it.
Well, so I was working at a restaurant. I just finished grad school. We talked about that last time.
Vanderbilt?
I think. Chicago. It was awful. Well, I was doing psychology, and if you do academic psychology, there's only one path. Like if you don't want to be a professor, you're done. You have no other choice.
Can't you be a psychotherapist?
Yeah, you need to have a PhD for that. I have a master's degree. And you have to get licensed, and I could have done that, I guess. But that's like another 4 or 5 years of school.
So you moved to LA after Chicago.
Pretty much. Well, I was in San Francisco, and I was like just kind of like, fuck, what the fuck am I doing? And I was like working at a restaurant.
How old are you at that time?
While I finished my thesis.
25, 26?
26. Yeah, I was 26. And I was just like, I want to do stand up. I want to figure out how to do this. I definitely don't want to do it in San Francisco. I don't like knowing everybody. I don't want to live at home.
When did that come to you though, that you wanted to do stand up?
Actually towards the end of undergrad, I was just like, someone told me to try it. And then I looked up doing it at Zany's, and Zany's had this dumb open mic policy where they were like, if you want to go up here, you have to bring 10 people and you get to do 90 seconds.
Sounds like New York. Well, maybe
90
do 180
seconds?
seconds in New York.
I've never heard of 90 seconds of stand up.
No, that's wild.
And then between all your friends paying, that's like a couple $1,000 that you're bringing the club.
They each get like 3 seconds. Yeah.
They each bought 3 seconds. They spend $70 for 3 seconds of stand up.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane. So I was like, I'm not doing that. I'll table that. And I kind of like was like, in Chicago while I was in school, like going to shows and going like, oh, I think this is interesting. This is kind of cool. Went to some improv shows. I was like, that's cool. I'm not going to do that, but that's cool. Went to stand up and I was like, Chicago stand-up's not very good. I was like, yeah, I think I could do that.
They're opening a second city, by the way, in Williamsburg, like in a couple months.
Cool.
Yeah.
Second City's amazing. I went to the
improv group.
Second City in Chicago. It was great. Like very, very good show. And actually, it's really sad because I haven't seen any of them do anything since then. It was like their best company. They were very, very good. And I don't know what they're up to.
I think the pandemic kind of...
Maybe that's some of it, yeah.
Well, it really affected
improv
studios because they had so much space. And then like UCB in the city too. It's just like they closed down after not being able to bring in any money for 3 to 4 months.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So then I was home. I was finishing my thesis up. I was done with classes. I was in a 1-year master's program. It was like an accelerated, very brief. They gave me money. I felt no guilt really. I just felt like I was kind of wasting time. But they paid me to be there, which was cool. And I was home like finishing my dumb thesis and thinking about doing stand up. And I didn't quite really have the money together, but I just said fuck it and I went to LA and I actually stayed with a friend for a little bit and then they were like, we have people coming, like you can't stay any longer. And then I was in the car for 3 months total.
You bought a car in San Francisco and drove it down to LA.
Drove it down to LA. A big Volvo, like a sedan. And living in your car in LA, especially when did I move? Especially like July until November, pretty easy.
Okay.
It's not cold. It's not raining. There are a lot of places to park cars. It's like a city full of vagrants. Everybody's kind of in between stuff. If you're not doing very well, you're like doing what I was doing.
Yeah, Steve Harvey was living in his car.
Yes. No, I heard that. When he was on the road. He was like doing gigs on the road. Yeah, and it was just 3 months. And I would put up the sun protector thing. I had like some towels and shit that I would put on the side. And then occasionally like I would hear something and have to move my car in the middle of the night. It was some of the worst sleep I ever got in my life. It was horrible. You're paranoid all the time. So I remember there were times when people would like knock on the window. And a homeless guy, this might have been like a fever dream or something, but I think a homeless guy was like, he wanted to get in the car. He wanted to sleep in the car. And I was like, no, you can't get in my car.
You were visible though from the street? Like you didn't, okay.
I think, well, actually I might have had a towel up and I like pulled it. And he's like, let me in. Of course not.
Yeah.
You're not getting in my fucking car. It was like, well, people are like, how are you going to be able to handle having a newborn? That was harder. I have to get up and, shoot a little bit of milk in someone's mouth. I can do that once a night. It's a lot better than being like thinking the cops found me. It's not legal to sleep in your car.
What would they do if they found you?
I think they'd probably put you in jail for a night. You're not allowed to be in your car. I'm not sure what they would do. They might give you a ticket. They might give you a warning.
They would just tell you to drive somewhere else?
And they might if they're nice, but that's not legal.
Really?
It's illegal to not sleep.
Do you guys know that? I had no idea.
We could, I wish we had like a Jamie or someone.
We got it, Jamie. Yeah. Pop it up.
But I do think that...
Well, we got a post-production Ted Jones. So let's pop it up right here. And this is in San Francisco or LA you're talking about?
LA. But I bet California state law is like, you at the very least get a ticket. If not like overnight in
theoretically it makes sense because then people would just be buying shitty cars, parking it, and then sleeping in it.
And then always doing that.
What were you going to say?
Well, I think also a lot of people are doing that, and there's too many to be putting everybody in jail. They have too much of a homeless problem to do anything about it, really. But I think it is technically illegal.
Sad, man.
Yeah, it is sad. And then I ended up living with 3 19-year-old girls after that, who I worked with.
In LA?
In LA. I went from homeless to that.
To living the dream.
Yeah. It would also, but that was like a nightmare too. That was fucking horrible too. Because they were like partying. None
of them went to college though?
They were all, no. That's also LA too. I think in New York, people think everybody goes to college.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about this
in
last
LA,
time.
no one goes to college.
You went to college and I was like, oh, nice.
Yeah. People go to college here. Uh-huh. People are educated. People are smart in New York. Everyone in LA is a moron.
It was just 3 19-year-old girls just graduated from high school. How'd you find them?
I worked with them. No, I worked with them at Equinox.
Were you a personal trainer?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I can see that.
Yeah, I mean,
you got nice arms, you know.
I appreciate that.
Yes,
it's an okay job. I don't recommend it to anybody. Don't pursue it.
Don't pursue what? Personal training?
Do not, unless, I don't know. Depends on what you have in mind. If you're gonna make some content or something and make that your whole thing, go for it.
Yeah.
But if you just want to make money, it's a flawed profession.
Why?
Because your clients come and go. It's not consistent.
Yeah, you think you're gonna make X amount, and then
It's
you end
commission.
up making,
Yeah, that's the problem.
I taught tennis for a few summers in a row. I played tennis in college, and
Yeah.
that was a job that was just super difficult. Just because like
It's the same
you
thing.
couldn't be late. If you were 5 minutes late, you know, then you'd have to be 5 minutes late to the next client, and then 5 minutes late, and then it would continuously keep going.
It's exactly the same
and
thing.
also your clients who you were teaching might dox you for like the 5 minutes. Well, I'm not paying you $80 this time.
No, they're paying for the hour, and if you show up a few minutes late, you've fucked them over. No, it's a crazy.
Yeah. It's like personal training too, but you're already at the gym.
It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah. If you can get clients that will leave you, I don't know, a few $100,000 in their will, I think that's a good way to go.
Yeah, being someone like I knew guys who were like the Pussycat Dolls trainer on the road. That's a good job.
Or like Kevin Hart's trainer, you travel with him.
Yes, I met that dude. Kevin came into the Equinox in Hollywood. He goes to the Hudson Yards ones too. That's a good job. But again, that's all you're doing at that point. I was doing it so I could do something else. So you're like, well, I can't do the 6 a.m. session because I'm going to be out so late. And then either you're saying yes to everything and not sleeping, or you're saying no to some stuff and you have no money. You can't win doing a job like that. I'm actually trying to, do you know anything about SEO? I'm trying to pivot into search engine optimization.
I know about it. Let's talk about it.
I just finished a job with a friend hooked me up with a client. I did a job for someone, and it pays so well for the amount of work that you do. Like, it's fucking insane.
So what is it? Describe it.
SEO. It's like like a website has text and has headings, just the words on the website. And what you do is you go through and if you're gonna search engine optimize an entire web page, you would put in like replace words and rewrite paragraphs and sentences so that they're more searchable. So the likelihood of the algorithm of Google, etc., placing it higher up on the search list increases. So you just change the word, change like sometimes change what's written on the page, but sometimes just change the word choice.
Can you give an example? Is it like copywriting kind of?
It's like copywriting, but like the most, it's like copywriting for autistic people. It's like, it's internet copywriting. It's like copywriting for coding. So you're like, certain headings, like if a heading, it's hard to say exactly. You end up plugging all this stuff into like calculators, and they say like, oh, you need to say like the best or awesome or great. So instead of saying like HVAC systems in Spartanburg, South Carolina, you might say the best HVAC installation in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
What's something maybe like if you're go ahead.
And that'll bump it up a little bit. Like the likelihood of someone searching that goes up a tiny bit.
Like if you're promoting a comedy show.
Yeah.
What would be some dialogue that you'd use or some words?
It honestly, it's entirely dependent on like, we could go online and look up in a calculator, like what
do you mean calculator?
Well, it's like there's like all these tools you can use that'll tell you what words that are before and after comedy will help boost comedy. So like best comedy,
insane comedy,
number one comedy,
number one comedy.
It's so stupid, but that might actually be it. You know what I mean? Because it's the algorithm on something like Google, like the
search engine,
the manner in which something is searched more frequently than something else, doesn't care about whether or not it sounds good, whether or not it's well written. It literally just cares about certain word choice that then leads to more people searching it.
That's funny. Sometimes I'll be on YouTube and I'll see a title and I'll be like, that makes no sense in English.
And it's doing really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what search engine optimization
We
is.
had best time in Philadelphia.
It actually sounds like broken English half of the time.
Sometimes, yeah.
And that's like, maybe that's the most efficient way to get people to look at the page. Because you don't want to waste words. And you do kind of want to use like sort of hyperbolic language where you're like, great, best,
all right, for
best
example,
ever.
what should we title this episode then? I mean, I'm sure we're going to go through 20 more topics as we already have.
Yeah. you know, like when you look up someone's special, like you look up like a Bill Burr special, A lot of the time on YouTube, it's not, he didn't post it, someone else posted it.
Yeah.
A lot of the time it says like, best comedian ever. That's
right. Or it's like comedian gets mad at the audience.
Yeah.
Like a YouTube short.
Yeah, that's
video.
a negative. Any strong language, positive or negative, is really good. But if you wrote best comedy podcast ever, that would probably do pretty well. Best comedian podcast ever, New York. That could be good. That'd be a funny title, and actually might be optimized for you. And if you wanted me to look at your stuff, I could like just point you in the right direction for sure.
All right, I'll take
for titling. Yeah. Because it's amazing. It's not what you think. And I like reading. I like reading literature. I like stuff that's well written. And that is not what this is. I like well-written comedy, well-written literature, well-written TV, etc. This does not sound good. It doesn't roll off the tongue. It's more about like, it's just a fucking formula. This plus this equals searches.
Yeah.
And it's so stupid, but you know, I got to feed my daughter. I'm going to do it. I hate almost everything about it, but it's also very efficient. I don't want to waste time.
How's New York been for you, man?
It's great.
How long have you been here?
5 months. I moved in May.
You ready for the winter?
No, I'm gonna have a kid in the winter. You know what I am? I actually am like, I'm kind of excited that it's all hitting at once. Like holidays, winter, baby, all at once. I'm not going to be going into work. I'm trying to work mostly from home once we have the kid. My wife's actually going to be the one working. There's a likelihood that I never work again. Well, at least don't have like a job. Ideally, I pivot to full-time comedy as we're raising the kid. And my wife, she has a job. She got a job at a hedge fund as a office manager, and it's a good gig. So if she can maintain that, that'll actually allow me to be with the baby during the day, Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday. And I don't mind that as like the flow of how things go. I go out at night to do sets, and I'm with the kid all day long. Anybody
ever give you, or people recently give you weird advice about having a kid that you're like, what? That can't make sense.
One guy just told me, he was like, while she's giving birth, like, don't look.
I have maybe vaguely heard that.
He's had 3 kids. He was like, just, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Don't look. I can imagine. Cause like poop might come out too.
Yeah. And actually you have to go to we're doing a natural birth. That's my wife's choice.
For sure though.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people at the last minute are like, yo, give me the whatever.
It's her choice.
What's it called though? When you have the pain pills?
I don't even know what you're referring to, but yeah, but she doesn't want them.
I meant where like the woman can't feel it.
Yeah. I forget. I know what you're saying. There's a word for the medication, but she wants to do it natural. She wants to do it 100% natural. And we're doing it at a birthing center in Brooklyn. It's like every fucking cliche. All the nurses are great. They're all like
each room, somebody's screaming.
Haitian ladies. Well, it's kind of like a house. So it's like we'll be in the basement when we have our appointments, we go to the basement of the house. It's in Prospect Park. And then upstairs they have the rooms where they have the kids.
What do you do in the basement? Like Lamaze classes? You see how I remember
that's
shit?
Good. We are doing a class at some point. That's gonna be everything's over Zoom now. There's Zoom Lamaze that we are gonna do, but those are just like when they listen to the baby's heartbeat,
just like breathing.
And she did a glucose test multiple times to make sure the kid's not gonna have gestational diabetes.
Do people ever talk about fasting before childbirth so you don't drop a deuce right there?
Oh, interesting.
You know?
No, I mean,
Yeah,
I think
never heard that.
It's an interesting idea.
Good question.
Nutrients are so important for the baby
Right.
that I think fasting's kind of off the table when you're a pregnant lady. I think
Trying to get that testosterone out.
Yeah, I don't think people are like optimize your childbirth by starving your baby.
Yeah.
She's eating. You don't eat for 2, but you eat more. You need to eat more, and like good qualities. She needs to eat like a lot more nutrients than she normally would. She can't just fucking
no smoking, no drinking.
She wasn't gonna do that anymore.
Yeah.
She's pretty clean as it is.
I wonder how much you can actually do before it like really messes up your baby. It's probably just like it could be indifferent.
Okay.
It's like you have a sip or you have a full bottle.
This is interesting. And we last time we talked, we sort of went down an academic path. This is like an NPR style interview. This is serious. This is serious sort of academic.
Well, we're 2 college grads, bro.
We're trying to teach America right now. Yeah. We both graduated from college, so we know everything. Yeah. So I don't even.
I almost, by the way, didn't graduate on time. I got
Really?
like a D in math, and my parents or my mom was like, "If you stay an extra semester, you're paying for it." So thanks God, I got that scary. D, bro.
Yeah, I had like the I had my version of that for sure. I like almost didn't finish my thesis. I overreached and like was trying to do too much, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm not going to finish.
And your thesis was on something like pretty interesting, if I remember correctly.
So my graduate thesis was on strippers.
Yes.
Strippers. And my undergrad was actually on sports psychology sort of stuff. So I did it was a self-fulfilling prophecy in sports. The degree to which your beliefs become your behaviors. And I measured that with the basketball team, men's and women's basketball team, which is kind of cool. I got like good, 3 of them went to the NBA, the men's players, like good sample of.
And you interviewed them?
Interviewed them. And that was like qualitative, slightly more qualitative data. I mean, it was quantitative, but like, actually it was quantitative, but I interviewed them, and then ran the numbers on the survey that survey questions that they answered. And then I did an in-lab manipulation where I taught people how to juggle and also measured the same variables.
But getting back to the drinking wine during pregnancy or
no, but what I was going to say is I almost didn't, that was too much. I did 2 separate experiments as an undergrad. What a fucking, first of all, no advisor should let you do that. And I was like, I had months to go and I was like, I'm not going to finish this. I had all the studies done, but I was like, I will not be able to write this in time, which means I wouldn't graduate. And I was like an honors psychology student who almost had to not graduate.
Damn.
Yeah, it was wild.
And what was the point of doing 2?
I was just ambitious and being an idiot.
Okay.
I start, the problem was my advisor was like, yeah, go. He just let me do whatever I wanted. He's like, that sounds cool. And he kind of was like hands off.
Yeah, he might get like a percentage if you had to stay an extra semester.
Yeah, maybe. I think
honestly,
in hindsight, now that I have more experience with being cripplingly depressed, he was not a happy man. And he was a great guy, really, really smart. He was a dean. He became the dean of the School of Education over there. Great guy, genius, troubled man.
Depressed.
He was like, I was like, hey, can I do this? He's like, yeah, whatever you want, man. He was so sad.
Maybe that'll make you happy.
Yeah. He was always eating like Wendy's with his kids.
Well, bro,
yeah.
You shouldn't be eating Wendy's, maybe.
No, but like,
it might affect your brain.
It was a little sad to like walk in to the lab some days, and he's with his 2 like kind of growing outward children, like getting chubby children, and he looked like Santa Claus. He was a huge guy.
Yeah.
Every day during the year, he would wear jeans, and then in the summer, he'd cut the jeans. That's a depressed guy.
Yeah.
And wear jean shorts.
Isn't that interesting how somebody could be so smart academically?
Yeah. He's a lazy guy.
And
in a lot
then
of
on
ways.
the other end of the spectrum, they're eating the worst food.
He was not taking care of himself. And also, I think he got throat cancer. He's one of my favorite people I ever interacted with.
Let's call him.
I should call him on like Facebook or something. I'd love to talk to Craig.
Right,
to be honest, I need to succeed before I talk to Craig because I'm embarrassed. He helped me so much. And I was at a good school and I was like, I'm going to do something. You know, Craig, this guy was a PhD from Stanford and was the dean of education at Vanderbilt University. He's a very successful professor.
Yeah. There's so many people who are just so dialed in and smart on one specific.
He's an academic
behavior.
guy. He was a statistician. He knew how to run stats. He was a good math brain and a very, very smart guy. I loved his class. That's why I did honors research. That was the first class I ever took there. I sat in his class and loved it. And like, it just all made sense to me. And I was like, I want to work with this guy and I want to do research with this guy. The stars sort of aligned for that. And since then I've lived in my car and done a stripper thesis and I'm interviewing porn. He would be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Like, you're living your dream, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, if he's if he didn't seem like kind of a sexual guy, but if if he's into that shit, he'll be like, nice work, man. Nice. You did it right. But I'm kind of embarrassed to reach out to him. I want to be like
soon enough, bro.
Better standing before I talk to that guy. Hope he's fucking alive. Okay, wine during pregnancy. So academic. This is kind of an academic podcast. We're smart guys. We do our homework.
Yes.
We read journals.
Speak for yourself.
I just finished a couple books on the train. I know I'm a smart guy. It is nice reading on the train. I never used to read in LA because
I don't think I've ever done that.
I was in the car all the time.
I like read Instagram.
I have a long fucking ride. Like going from, if I'm going from like McDougal to Astoria.
It's like 45 an
It's
hour.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I can actually just like fucking read a book.
Being able to sit on the train for an extended period of time is underrated. Like people will come into work maybe from Stanford or something, but like having to transfer, that's when it gets difficult. And like in terms of like breaking up work. Absolutely.
If you're trying to focus on anything, it will not happen. And first thing in the morning, you're just standing. I did that this morning.
Right.
I'm just like between 7 Chinese women. I'm not getting anything done. Mm-hmm. Nice ladies, but it's just not going to happen. So wine during pregnancy. Supposedly there was a behavioral economist who I listened to, very smart lady from Harvard. I want to say she's like an econ PhD from Harvard. She said that she's run the numbers internationally, and 1 or 2 glasses of wine every day for a pregnant woman is fine.
Every day?
Every day is fine.
Is it red, white, Sauvignon Blanc?
I don't think it matters too much. I think it's about like total alcohol content. White has even less than red. So I think it was like red wine. And in Europe, that's normal. They do that, and it's no big deal. That's how they ran the numbers. In like Western Europe, most pregnant women drink, but they don't drink excessively. And in America, we have a culture where you drink excessively. Mm-hmm. So basically, what she said was like, if we drank like Europeans in America, alcohol would be fine for a mom, but we don't. We fucking get fucked up in America. 1 turns into 7 fast.
Yeah.
That's why they recommend against alcohol, because binge drinking is normal here. That's the only reason. And actually, Christina, my wife, I don't even know how she's connected with this person, but like, I think her brother's friend just had a baby, and she was drinking a lot during the pregnancy, and her kid looks like fucking Winston Churchill, or he looks like an old man. He looks insane.
Is this Winston Churchill right here?
Yes, yeah, actually.
Let's go.
Yeah, he looks like that.
So like this.
Yeah,
that's funny.
That's hilarious that you have that right there. Yeah.
He's fresh though, right?
No, not for a baby. You don't want a baby to look like
but
that.
I mean, like he had a good life.
Great life.
Winston Churchill. I wonder what the effects are of smoking nugget though when you have a kid. I've never really heard studies on that. Smoking weed.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm from California, man. I know what
you know
Nugget
about
is.
Nugget.
Yeah. Nugs, man.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. We don't smoke. I'm sure people do smoke during pregnancy. I'd be very curious.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've run the numbers on that. I'd be fascinated to hear what they have to say about that.
I've never really heard banter.
Do you smoke a lot?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
quite frequently.
Nice.
A few times a day.
Cool. You seem like I couldn't tell. I was like
That I smoke weed. Well, my
Yeah.
energy on stage, people think like I'm on like cocaine sometimes.
yeah.
Which I get, but like weed, people never guess.
So you like a steady high.
Because I'm already up here. I don't need to get
wanna
even
calm
higher.
down.
I
Yeah,
just need to
yeah.
do the lower version to keep me in the middle.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, weeds. I don't think weed's a bad thing by any means. It might have an effect on your baby.
When I was in Wyoming, it's still a Schedule 1 drug. Same
Crazy.
as heroin and cocaine, which is nuts.
That's wild. You do CBD?
I've done it a handful of times, and I think it upsets my stomach.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe it's how you're doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I've done like drops before.
I'm sure you're getting.
Maybe I've smoked it.
When you smoke regular THC, you're getting some CBD just by
Yeah.
smoking it.
Right. But straight up CBD, no, never really.
Okay. I like that stuff.
They were giving out chocolate mushrooms like in little like doses at the wedding, and I had like one of those. I was tripping. I don't really like mushrooms that much. I'm just much more of a
You're a
weed
weed guy.
Yeah.
You don't like acid?
I did acid once, but I didn't feel it.
Oh, you got to do it again.
Shout out my dealer. Give me some. But
do it at least
I
once.
Didn't, yeah. Well, I did do it once. I just didn't feel it. I'm
like,
down to do it.
Feel it once.
Yeah.
Don't do it more. Don't
You
do
ever
it.
do ketamine?
Yeah. I've done acid and ketamine at the same time.
What?
Yeah. I
Is that when you wrote your thesis?
No. I actually did that in
That'd be
LA.
like a good time to do it.
Oh man, that would dude. I post thesis undergrad. I did so much acid. I think it actually like fucked me up for years.
Really?
I think
like
it-
where you crack your back and feel it?
Yeah, I was having flashbacks and I was like having nightmares and I was in a bad place for
So
a while.
why do you want me to do it again?
One time. The first time was amazing. It was blissful the first time. It was like incredible. And I smoked weed during it, and that helps too. I would smoke weed while you're doing the acid. But then I kept doing it during the summer, and I didn't realize, but I wasn't like I wasn't like in my body. I wasn't super present. I was starting to worry about shit. I was like, I don't even really want to fucking go to grad school. What am I doing? I'm nervous. And like people are patting me on the back and I'm like, you have no idea how poorly this is going to go. I have no idea what I'm fucking doing. And I think that like whatever those thoughts were just got louder and louder the more shit I was taking. And I probably did acid like 3 times that summer, which is stupid. Don't do it more than like once a year at most.
Isn't that interesting how when you take the path that is seen as the right path, people will always be very supportive of that. Like, oh, you're going to grad school?
Dude,
That's sick. Let's have a party. Oh, you want to be a stand-up comedian? Nah.
No. Okay, so this feels a little self-indulgent to me, but I think that you'll like it because this is along the same line. Okay. This is something I've been dealing with recently.
More water, by the way. You good?
I'm actually okay. I think you'll find this interesting based on what you just said. You know my background. I run into people who I went to school with in the city sometimes.
Definitely.
Vandy kids,
sure.
More so than you Chicago.
Yeah, the finance guys.
You Chicago kids are all indoors. They're not going out. They're in think tanks. They're not allowed outside.
They're probably still in Chicago during the winters.
It's possible. I remember literally seeing kids. These are probably undergrads, not grad students, but literally seeing. And I would have never gotten into Chicago undergrad. That's fucking insane. You got to be like you have to be like an incubated genius, like someone who never has left the library. But that's salient. So I remember on graduation day seeing kids in cap and gowns in the library. They just went back to the library. So they finished, thank you, shook the chancellor's hand, and then walked back to the fucking they're like watching soccer games or hanging out. But that's the most fun they're ever gonna have is like not doing work in the library. They spent the whole year in the library, they finished school, and they just go back and sit down in the library again. That's how that school is. And everybody's, got a mustard stain and bedhead, and they're all like solving some sort of math problem in their head. They're like barely tethered to reality. Your reality is not their reality.
You see some grads in the city, you were saying?
Yes. So Vanderbilt students. I'll see people. I'll see people around and like, so it's been 10 years since I finished at Vanderbilt. It's been a decade. So a lot could have happened over the course of those 10 years. And I know people who live in the city, who I went to school with. I'll see them occasionally. A couple of people have come to shows here and there. But like, I'll be barking or doing something that's not like a super glamorous thing. That's like low level work for a comic. It's great. The stage time is fucking amazing. I don't think it's a particularly big deal, but I'll see someone who I'm like, oh God, I don't know if I want to talk to this guy while I'm doing this, who I went to school with. And like they know what I was like in school. And when I was leaving school, I was going to a good grad school and they were all like, whoa, Ben's really got his shit together. Ben's probably going to do some cool stuff. And then 10 years later, they see you going like, hey, comedy, want to see a comedy show? And it's easy to head down a path where you're just like, what the fuck am I doing? What have I done with my life?
But then you could look on the other side of the coin. You can ask them how they're doing.
Of course. No, of course. And they, honestly, for the most part, like they have boring sounding jobs. And they haven't grown a ton as you talk to them and you're like, oh, this is like the same fucking lame guy.
So I keep referring to this wedding, but
yeah.
One of my boys asked a guy at the wedding what he does for a living. And the guy goes, come on, don't want to ruin the mood.
What does he do? Do you know?
No, he didn't want to ruin the mood. Yeah, I'm sure he did a good job.
Yeah.
His girlfriend was there. He's probably late 30s, making a few $100K a year. But the fact that he said that, and if you asked any comic, if you asked you what your job is, you wouldn't say that.
No. But that's true. And people want to talk about comedy. They think it's fun. They think it's interesting. But also they're like, I've like gone back home to San Francisco and hung out with people that I kind of knew from like high school. And like, maybe we play golf or something like that at some shitty course in San Rafael. And then someone's like, oh, you're doing comedy. That's cool. Like, do you make money doing that? And you have to be like, ooh, kind of. People just think it's a rash decision. It's not a good career choice. And it's not. But the question is like, do you enjoy what you're doing? And also your point of view while you're doing it. That to me is the most important thing. And I've lost touch with that, here and there, and it really will fuck you up. Like,
How do you mean?
So if you're not like fully engaged with what you're doing, like if you're not sort of present while you're doing it, if you let those thoughts where you're just like, what am I? Oh fuck, this is not a good idea. Why am I doing this? I just saw that guy from college. That's embarrassing. What am I doing? That's gonna ruin everything. But if you're a little more little less future and a little less past, it's the best. Comedy's the best. While you're actually doing it, it's the best if you let it be the best. But if you're worried about all that other shit before you go on, it's gonna fucking ruin your set, and then you really are being a dumbass, and you should have gotten a boring job.
I do know comics get depressed, obviously often, but when you see comics face to face, you never really see a comic who's depressed out and about at a comedy club about to do a set. You never really see them depressed.
We're pretty good at faking it.
Yeah. That's
part of the job on some level. Yeah, that's interesting. And also here's another thing. I think comics are so happy to see other comics. Like comics have fun together. So they're probably not depressed when they're with you because they're like, oh, cool, like someone who's doing what I'm doing and we can mess around and be funny or whatever it is, or be honest. And then when they're on their own, maybe it gets uglier. And also, I do think comics are like more mentally well than they used to be, based on what I've heard.
Why do you think that's the case?
I don't know. I mean, I think like mental health is just like more, it's valued more than it used to be. I think there was a time when people were like, if I don't beat the shit out of myself, I'm never going to do anything. And, in the New York comedy scene means like you shit on everybody and you tell everybody what's wrong with them. Honesty meant like just being an asshole. And I think that's kind of gone. Like at the shop where I bark a lot and do shows a lot, there's this one dude who used to be around like 10 or 15 years ago who kind of comes around now, which is a little sad. Comes around and hangs out and tells us stories and stuff. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, man, you got to stop. Something happened in the evolution of the comic where people are like, you kind of have to be positive. You have to have a good time.
I really don't think that there are any comics out there who are just truly like dicks and like not cool to hang around.
I think there used to be. Yeah.
Guys, you look like guys like Andrew Dice Clay who made a living off that and then slowly got kind of canceled and now he's making his way back.
Yeah, it's changed a little bit, I think. And I think like for the positive, it's like an adaptation that benefits a comic. It's like if you're in a slightly better place, like if it's like positive psychology, like if you believe in yourself and you're nice to people and then you'll do better. And also I think it's less competitive than it used to be because now everything's dictated by what you do. Like you have your own social media presence. You post your own clips. You're not in competition directly with anyone, really. Like getting into Just for Laughs, that's competitive, but it's a lot less like getting hired for specific jobs. Comedy Central specials, that used to be really cutthroat. And I think it's less cutthroat than it used to be. It's still very hard to break through social media, but you're on your own. Everybody's a private contractor now. It used to be like us versus, it used to be like a tennis tournament, and now it's like, I don't fucking know. I don't know what the sports analogy is. But it's not me versus you at all. Maybe it's more like golf now or something where you're just like playing on your own and you see what happens. Does that make sense?
A little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it used to be like it's between me and Tom Segura to get this Comedy Central Presents.
Yes. And
that's out the window now. It's not you versus anyone. You put your stuff up on YouTube.
You put it on your YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime.
It's not you versus anybody. Yeah. The platforms are all open.
It's you versus you, as they say.
And you want to like do things that boost you, and you do kind of need to chase clout a little bit, but like it's not like me or this guy. Either I win or I lose. It's so much less like that, and that makes people nicer because they're not directly competing with anybody.
I think you just hit it right there.
Yeah. How could you be mad at somebody when it's like you're not even really doing the same fucking thing? You just happen to do it in the same place. That's really what it comes down to. There's no like New York bestseller list for comics. We're all just doing different shit, and the question is whether or not you end up building your own audience, but it's not anyone else's audience, and it's really obvious now that that's the case, and it wasn't always.
Yeah, I think within the last 10 to 15 years, It's like that comic has a podcast. Oh, that comic does vlog stuff. That comic is big on TikTok. That comic is big here. It's not just like like you were saying, everybody is going for that one Comedy Central 30-minute special. There's 100 comics for that one spot.
Yeah, yeah, or like they do 20 a year, and there's however many comics submitting.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff means a lot less than it used to, and there isn't as much of that stuff.
Which it makes it easier for comics, but also harder.
It's harder because you have to do it all on your own.
Yeah, and you have to do a ton of different things.
And there's less luck involved. It's more just like effort, or at least just productivity. You got to be putting stuff out all the time. Whereas if you were in that era where like someone would shoot your Comedy Central half hour and then maybe they'd shoot an hour, or HBO would reach out, all you have to do is stand up. And then your agent books you on the road, and you're doing road gigs that are papered and no one knows who you are. That doesn't happen that much anymore.
What do you mean papered?
Like they give away the tickets. Like they're like, well, we're booking you for the week, and whoever shows up, shows up. Now, if you can sell tickets, they know because of your social media following.
That's a huge thing that has changed.
Yes.
You know, like we're seeing comics now who have the few 100,000 on TikTok, and now they're just starting to get into comedy, but they can sell out a 300-person theater with their 15th time doing stand-up or something like that.
That's true too.
Yeah.
And that throws a wrench in the works, kind of, but really just means like if you feel good about your stand-up, just put stuff out. Why not make content? And that's easier said than done, man. I told you about the commuting that I'm doing and fucking. It's hard as shit to make content when you spend like 90 minutes a day in a train, and you're not at home. Like I basically need to bring like a duffel bag with a camera and mics and a mic stand. Like I don't have the time to go home and shoot a podcast most days.
I know we were talking about potentially doing your podcast the last time we talked.
I want to do it.
Yeah, let me know. We can do it. We can do it here, dude. We can take off the Ted Jones things. We could do it in a different.
Really? Okay.
Thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do that.
Bro. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I want to get a setup going, and
You're
actually,
a fun guy to talk to.
Yeah. No, you're great too, man.
What were you gonna say?
We had fun at the shop the other night. That was fun. Whenever you came by, I might be at a studio in whatever month that's going to be, like next month, October, with a buddy. Do you know Nick Callis?
Yeah, of course. He's been on the pod.
Oh, nice. We might do one together. But also, I want to do my solo one. I'll come by and do it. But yeah, we might be doing one out of some studio in Manhattan. I don't know where it is. So what else? It's like I'm going to New Mexico next week.
Oh, what?
Which I'm excited about.
You doing shows there?
Yep. I'm headlining 2 shows in New Mexico.
Let's go.
Farmington, New Mexico.
The shit. How much time are you doing?
Half an hour.
Go to New Mexico, man. Ben, this has been a freaking great episode. Thank you so much for coming on the pod.
Dude, thank you.
Again, of course, dude.
Yeah.
And before we get out of here, we're going to pop up your Instagram. Let us know where we can find you in New York or where that ticket link for New Mexico is. Please enlighten us.
You know, all my show dates just in general are on social media, but in New York, I tend to be at Broadway and the Comedy Shop at the moment and the Grizzly Pear. Those are all good clubs.
Love it.
I'll post about all that on Ben Herwitz Comedian on Instagram. And next week, if you happen to be in Farmington, New Mexico.
This is coming out next Thursday, by the way.
Perfect.
We're getting a little ahead
No,
of it.
perfect.
So you'll be there today, Thursday.
I'll be there. I'll be landing today.
Yes.
And performing on Friday and Saturday in Farmington, New Mexico. At some brewery or something. I don't know.
So I think this is what you
Oh,
do.
and do you want to hear who I'm performing with? This
Yeah,
is
who?
fun. I'll show you the flyer. I just posted it on social media.
Pop it up right here. I'll go. Where is it?
Please, I'll send it to you right now.
Okay,
I'll
send
text it to you.
Yeah.
That there's two Jesuses doing this.
Maybe they're just saying hi. Who are you going with? Who are you going with?
Myself.
Oh, I thought you
fun-
said you're doing it with someone.
Oh, so this kid is flying me out. He's opening for me.
Yes.
But it's okay. So this kid's flying me out. Jamie, he's a good guy. But there's a group of people who I think are doing comedy, and they're named the Shit Boys. And on the flyer, it looks like it's me, Jamie, and then we're opening. It actually looks like it's the reverse, and we're opening, or we're part of the Shit Boys. It's like Ben, Huey and the what was the name of the band?
Blowfish?
Yeah, exactly. Hootie and the Blowfish.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
It's like Benny and the Shit Boys.
Benny and the Jets. Ben Herwitz, you're the freaking man. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Thanks.